We are in for a treat on Sunday, and I am so pumped for this football game. It's a battle for the NFC North, and in my opinion, it's a battle for one of the top teams in the NFL. That's how I really view it. If you want the 1 seed, if you want to win the NFC North, it starts with beating the Minnesota Vikings. It's one of the games of the week. The NFL is broadcasting this game at 1 o'clock to a majority of the country, the 5-0 Minnesota Vikings versus our 4-1 Detroit Lions team. If we want to stay on top of the division, if we want to remain kings of the North, the only way is through the Minnesota Vikings, through the Green Bay Packers, and through the Chicago Bears. We're all really good football teams. We are the top division in the NFL. So if you want to win the best division in the NFL, it starts with beating your division opponent. It's going to be physical. It's going to be a battle. And like I said, we are in for a treat on Sunday. And the only way to get to where we want to go, to be the top dog in this division, is through. Now let's talk about our offense. How are we going to attack this stout Minnesota defense? Minnesota has a stout rushing defense. Their rushing defense might be a little bit better than our rushing defense. I'm just saying. But Cashman, this is a huge injury loss for this Minnesota Viking team. They're one of their top linebackers. Cashman, he is dealing with turf toe. He's going to be out. The Detroit Lions have to establish the line of scrimmage this week. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be just as easy as it was against the Dallas Cowboys last week. It's going to be, you're in the division. This offensive line has to set the tone. The offensive line is the strength of our football team. We got to get that run game going. Because if you get that run game going, get Gibbs and Montgomery hitting for 3-5 yards a pop every play, that's going to open up the play action. Once the play action opens up, that opens up the deep well that Ben Johnson has in his playbook. That's how I view it. It's the game plan every week, how we should attack each and every team. Establish the run. The establishing the run gets Jared Goff going, and once Jared Goff gets in a rhythm, watch out for the other team. That's how it's got to be, but we got to protect Jared Goff. Van Ginkel, Gradard's been balling out. That signing they took from the Houston Texans, and the Dallas Turner, the rookie out of Alabama, they're balling out. Their front seven can get pressure. They blitz a lot. Their defense ran under Brian Flores. Brian Flores, it's going to be a chess match between Ben Johnson and Brian Flores. Like I said, man, it starts every week. Establishing that run game. You establish that run game, this Detroit Lions team should have a really good opportunity to win this football game, because that's going to open up the playbook. And then once that playbook gets opened up, Jared Goff gets more comfortable. And once Jared Goff more comfortable, he can just sit back and dink and dunk to all the weapons we have. But they have really good corners, Stephon Gilmore, Josh Metellus back there. Their defense is talented. There's a stout defense. It's going to be a lot more challenging than it was against Seattle, and it's going to be a lot more challenging than it was against Dallas. But bring it on. Who wants it more? And I really think we're going to start establishing this run game. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be the one that's kind of breaking it a little bit. We'll see what goes on, but that's how it's got to be. You got to establish the run, because that's going to open up the playbook, and that's going to open up and make Jared Goff more comfortable. Defensive side of the ball, Sam Darnold is pressured 10% of the time. But what's the big elephant in the room with this Detroit Lions team? Hutch is out. What are we going to do? How are we going to be able to get pressure without Hutch? In my opinion, last week, a lot of our pressure was coming from the interior. McNeil, DJ Reader, Josh Pascal. So we got to create pressure on Sam Darnold. We got to make him uncomfortable, because I've been watching the last couple of games of the Minnesota Vikings. In that second half against the Green Bay Packers, he was a little uncomfortable. And then in the Jets game, he was uncomfortable. He was getting hit around. And the only reason the Minnesota Vikings were really running away with that game is because Aaron Rodgers turned the ball over a few times. We cannot turn the ball over this week. That is so key, and the time of possession is going to be huge. But we got to get pressure up the middle. Like I said, Sam Darnold is pressured 10% of the time. Aaron Jones has been a little bit banged up. Ty Chandler, and they just traded this week for Cam Akers. It's going to be, we got to shut down their run and limit Justin Jefferson. If Carlton Davis can't go, you're going to have to put Kirby Joseph and Terrion Arnold, Kirby Joseph over top of Terrion Arnold covering Justin Jefferson. They got Josh Naylor. They got Jordan Addison. They got a good, talented offense, but it all starts with getting pressure on Sam Darnold. But like I said earlier in the video, who wants it more? Is this defense going to step up without Hutch, or are they going to fold over and be like, we lost our key defensive player? Is Pascal going to step up? Is McNeil going to step up? Is Onwuzurike going to step up? Is James Houston going to step up? Is Nowatzki going to step up? Who's going to get the pressure on Sam Darnold and who's going to make him uncomfortable, because that's how it's got to be. You got to stop the run this week. You stop the run, you get pressure on Sam Darnold. I really like our chances, but you got to get pressure on Sam Darnold. We can't just let him sit back there and dink and dunk to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, because that'll eat us alive. This Detroit Lions team has a chance to win this football game. It's going to be a battle. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you got to establish the run game. You establish that run game, you have a really good chance of winning this football game. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Your score prediction. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Please keep helping this channel grow. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.